Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. It's early. This is my second video. Holy shit. Yes, tonight at 8 p.m., there will be a live stream. Myself, Bad Mike. It's going to be interesting because it continues to be interesting. And there's an update, a working conversation about the open game license by by Kyle Brink. Never heard of the man, but he's the executive producer on D&D. We are going to read what he says, and we're going to actually point out something he doesn't say, which I think is even more important. So before everybody goes, two thumbs up, there's still some missing context here, and it's not being addressed, and it has to be addressed. So, hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer on D&D. It's my team that makes the game we all play. D&D has been a huge part of my life long before I worked at Wizards and will be for a long time after I'm done. My mission and that the entire D&D team is to help bring everyone the creative joy and lifelong friendships that D&D has given us. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't and we won't let things continue like this. I'm here today to talk about a path forward. First, though, let me start with an apology. We are sorry. We got it wrong. Our language and requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to tabletop RPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. That was huge, and that led me and others and most in the community to figure Watsi didn't give a shit. We heard fans and creators, but more frequent and clear communications could have prevented so much of this. Not such a draconian OGL, but let's forget about water under the bridge. Not quite. Starting now, we're going to do this in a better way, more open and transparent with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, to improve. If this sounds familiar, and it doesn't, my opinion, I could be wrong, it's because it's how we do it for the game itself. So let's do that for the OGL too. All right, they're getting feedback on the playtest. Maybe I'll give it to them. We'll listen to you, and then we'll share with you what we've heard. Well, we'll listen and we'll hear. Those aren't, they might listen, but what they're going to hear might be two different things. Much like we do in our Unearthed Arcana and 1D&D playtests. This will be a robust conversation before we release any future version of the OGL. Here's what to expect. On or before Friday, January 20th, 2 days hence, we'll share new proposed OGL documentation for your review and feedback, much as we do with playtest materials. After you review the proposed OGL, you will be able to fill out a quick survey, much like Unearthed Arcana playtest feedback surveys. It'll ask you specific questions about the document and include open form fields to share any other feedback you have. This is the important part of the document, folks, okay? Because I can guarantee you what I'm going to bring up is not going to be included in their list of questions. It's my question, though. Again, we'll see it in a second. The survey will remain open for at least 2 weeks, and we'll give you advance notice before it closes so that everyone who wants to participate can complete the survey. Then we will compile, analyze, react to, and present back what we heard from you. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. Okay. We are committed to giving creators both input into and room to prepare for any update to the OGL, and there's a ton of stuff that isn't going to be affected by an OGL update. So today, right now, we'll lay out all the areas that this conversation won't touch. Any changes to the OGL will have no impact on, at least, these creative endeavors. Your video content, whether you are a commentator, oh, geez, that would be me. Oh, streamer, podcaster, live play cast member, or other video creator on platforms like YouTube and Twitch and TikTok, you have always been covered by the Wizard fan policy. No, that's bullshit. Because if you make money off what you're doing, if you take sponsorships, if you take ads, you're not covered by the Wizard fan content policy. So that's bullshit. Sorry. The OGL doesn't and won't touch any of this. That's fine too, but neither one covers it. Okay? Free speech probably covers it. Your accessories for your own content. No changes to the OGL will affect your ability to sell minis, novels, apparel, dice, and other items related to your creations, characters, and worlds. Non-published works, for instance, contracted services. You use the OGL if you want to publish your works that reference 5th edition content through the SRD. That means commissioned work, paid DM services, consulting, and so on aren't affected by the OGL. They never should have been. VTT content, all updates to the OGL will still allow any creator to publish content on VTTs and will still allow VTT publishers to use content on their platform. I don't know how that applies, though, to services that kind of strip content from the SRD to allow people to use that on their VTT, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. DM's Guild content. The content you release on DM's Guild is published under a community content agreement with Dungeon Masters Guild. This is not changing. I didn't think it would have. This is important. This is where they give you a half a fucking answer. Your OGL 1.0A content. Nothing will impact any content you have, and I'm stressing this because they're not, published under OGL 1.0A. That will always be licensed under 1.0A. Going forward, if I have material that was published under 1.0A, can I support it under 1.0A going forward? They don't address it. I'm guessing their answer is sit and rotate. But that's a question that I'm going to guarantee you it's not going to be one of their pre-selected questions. Give us a strongly agree, indifferent, strong, disagree, strongly disagree. This is one you're going to have to fill in. You're going to have to explain, and you're going to have to make them work for their fucking money. Sorry. Your revenue. There will be no royalty or financial reporting requirements. This is good. This is good. This makes 2.0, however it winds up shaking out, to be more palatable. However, this is going to bring back anybody that's already left. The big publishers, Paizo, Kobold, Troll Lord, Frog God, Goodman, they've all told you where to go. You'll be going there on your own. Your ownership of your content. You will continue to own your content with no license back requirements. Would that mean there's no more review? I don't know. You have to still submit every piece of your material. Because if you do have to submit your material for review to Wizards of the Coast, right? Isn't that where the license back was there? Because, well, hey, you're writing about Grognard, the Game Slayer. And we were writing about Grognard, the Game Slayer. Holy cow. Individual monkeys came up with the same idea. But since we're Wizards of the Coast, we get to keep the idea, and you can't say anything about it. That's not fully addressed. That's all from me for now. You will hear from us on or before Friday as described above. And we look forward to the conversation. Kyle Brink, executive producer, Dungeons & Dragons. Folks, before you say this is a total walk back, it's not. Okay? This is what we've already seen. This is what they already kind of explained last week. All right, so they did it without the lawyer talk, without the PR bullshit, but there's still stuff they're not addressing. What happens with, can there be future 1.0A content? Can there be? Can I support my 1.0A content with further 1.0A content? They're not addressing that. So, all right. Expect more talk about this tonight, 8 p.m. on this channel. Talking Crit, myself, Bad Mike. I don't know. Maybe we'll grab one or two others. We shall see. Really looking forward to seeing you all tonight. I'm glad I got to put this up. Now I got to upload this. And I don't know if you heard the dog barking in the background, but she's desperate for a walk and thought she was getting it until I snooze popped up. So God bless you. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Tonight, 8 p.m., I will hopefully see you all there. Catching your breath. Holy crap.